Good morning, and thank you for joining us here at the First Alert Desk on Atlanta News First Plus. It is Friday. We are almost to the weekend, and a beautiful look outside live at Centennial Olympic Park. It's a gorgeous day. The weather warmer than we experienced on Tuesday, and getting better each day. We have a lot of news happening in and around Metro Atlanta, and this is Catch Up Quick. So let's get you caught up on the stories making headlines. I want to start by taking you out to downtown Atlanta, where this was the scene going into the morning hours as daylight started to creep into our Friday. A water main break in the heart of Metro. Atlanta News First reporter Joshua Skinner near Piedmont Avenue and MLK Drive, where crews worked overnight to get this fixed.
Got word from Atlanta Watershed Management about half an hour ago that the pipe, the 12-inch pipe that burst last night, has been fixed. You can see some of the crews just doing the last-minute touch-ups behind me, shoveling dirt, knocking some ice around. They still have a lane closed, which is slowing traffic down out here. We're on Piedmont, just down the street from the Capitol. There is actually a pond that's still up in a construction area up above us, but we're kind of on the back end of all this. It looks like they should be getting cleaned up. This was all caused by a construction company last night accidentally breaking a main, flooding that pond, and the water flowing down Piedmont. A lot of it was freezing, and work crews then kind of shoveled rocks and dirt on top of that so that people in cars that may try to park or walk over it wouldn't slip and slide. This morning they actually had crews standing in those areas so that people wouldn't drive over them. But now, about an hour, little less ago, they fixed that main, and now they're doing the last-minute cleanups out here, shoveling away, and hopefully within the next 20-30 minutes, all of this will be done. This road will be fully open, and the people can go on with their lives. We were wondering about how that was going to look this morning with the crews working overnight, but it looks like they're finishing up just in the nick of time today. Reporting live downtown, Joshua Skinner, Atlanta News First.
And taking you out to Gwinnett, where the trial for the murder of Gwinnett County father and coach resumed today. 3 men are accused of trying to carjack and ultimately shoot a man by the name of Bradley Coleman. Atlanta News First, Sarah Hammond reports from the Gwinnett County Center.
The 3 men accused in this case were first tried back in 2023, but that ended in a mistrial. Now, attorneys on this case are starting over with a new jury. Bradley Coleman was killed at a Quick Trip in July of 2022 while he was putting air in his tires in broad daylight. That's when police and prosecutors say 3 men attempted to carjack him, and when Coleman resisted, they ultimately shot him. Attorneys for Josiah Hewley, David Booker, and Miles Collins argued that there was only one shooter, so they have to work out what role each played in this, if any. The jury has already heard from multiple witnesses from the scene and Coleman's mother, who we spoke to last week as this retrial was getting underway.
It seems like he's been gone for a long time. I don't hate anybody, but I do want them to pay for what they did to our son.
We will bring you the latest from inside of this courtroom as this trial resumes. At the Gwinnett County Justice Center, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
And just for those of you that are watching us on Atlanta News First Plus, we are streaming this trial for you live right now on our Courts and Trials channel. You can also follow along on YouTube Live. Just search Atlanta News First. All right, I want to get you into some other stories that are making national headlines. This one involving new President Donald Trump and files that are now on their way to possibly being declassified. President Trump signing an executive order on files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Dr. Martin Luther King. Now, the order states that the King and Kennedy families and the American people deserve transparency and truth. And in a statement, the King family said that they hope to review the files as a family prior to the public's release. That statement reading in part, "Today our family has learned that President Trump has ordered the declassification of the remaining records pertaining to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, his brother Robert F. Kennedy, and our father, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. For us, the assassination of our father is a deeply personal family loss that we have endured over the last 56 years. We hope to be provided the opportunity to review the files as a family prior to its public release. So again, that news breaking and really sparking national attention, of course, close to home for us here in Atlanta. The executive order will require national security advisors to present a plan to the president for the complete release of those documents within 15 days. Those are for the JFK assassination files and documents relating to the assassinations of Robert Kennedy and Dr. King within 45 days. So we will follow this closely and let you know what comes of it on AtlantaNewsFirst.com and both on air and online. All right, let's take you out to Fulton County. Parents and families in the county might be seeing some impacts from this. Two Fulton County elementary schools now one step closer to shutting down. During last night's school board meeting, the board voted to accept the first reading of two items: plans to close Spalding Drive Elementary in Sandy Springs and Park Lane Elementary in East Point. Now, Fulton County Superintendent Dr. Mike Looney says that the district is bleeding money on those two schools. He says those closures are, in his eyes, necessary. The closure recommendation is part of a redistricting plan. Students would then ultimately go to neighboring schools. There are two more public hearings scheduled on these potential closings. A final decision expected to be made February 20th. And a fierce debate at Atlanta City Hall over a proposal to overhaul the office of the Inspector General. Atlanta News First reporter Patrick Quinn stopped by City Hall, where the mayor is looking to limit the power of the agency that ultimately keeps tabs on him.
Atlanta City Hall, Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens says he just wants to clarify the powers of the Inspector General. Meanwhile, supporters of the IG say some of these proposed changes could be detrimental to transparency of government. And we saw speaker after speaker, many advocates for the office of the Inspector General say proposed changes would, quote, gut the office. They said that could prevent the agency from rooting out issues within city government before local infractions become national scandals, like what we saw in 2017 with a major corruption and bribery scandal. The mayor said the goal of these changes is to help protect the rights of city employees. Devin Franklin with the Southern Center for Human Rights said these changes will weaken the public's ability to trust government.
The everyday citizen, yourself, myself, does not have the time to do checkups on what their government is doing. The OIG, their job is to make sure that government is doing that they're not wasting taxpayer dollars. What I would say is that it is especially curious that everything that the mayor is pushing makes it more difficult for the mayor to be held accountable.
Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.
And as we inch closer and closer to the weekend, all eyes on the weather ahead. Atlanta News First Alert meteorologist Ella Dorsey joining me now to look at your weekend forecast.
And guys, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm wearing a sweater because it's as cold in this newsroom as it is outside. I mean, this actually looks hilarious. I look like I'm in a bathrobe. I'll take it off. Guys, happy Friday! Oh, you didn't see it. You didn't get to see the bathrobe. All right, I gotta put it back on. Y'all, this is what I wear every day in the Weather Center, which is in the studio. We keep the studio really cold because the lights in there are really bright and hot. So the studio is always at like 63, 64 degrees. This is what I look like when I'm not on TV. I got this full robe kind of blanket cardigan that I wear. In case you were wondering, happy Friday. Oh man, we made it through another long week. I mean, is January not like it's like a battle month, you know? It's like, we just gotta, it's like, feels like it's 100 days long. How is it only the 24th? Yeah, probably because it's been so dang cold. I haven't been able to go outside. Well, it's going to be chilly today, but we're going to see a really nice warm up into the weekend. Our only first alert weather day over the next week is Monday. Not for snow, not for cold. Thank the heavens above. It's just for a little bit of rain for your morning commute. So not too bad, okay? We do have a cold front, as if we need another cold front. We do have a cold front coming in now. It did bring some light little flurries to Gordon County, LJ area. It is increasing clouds across the northern tier. Those clouds are going to increase for us here later. Still very cold. You can see Atlanta down to the south now above freezing, but the clouds have kept it in the 20s in the mountains, low 20s, 29 in Rome, 29 in Canton. That's due to the cloud cover. We should climb into the mid 40s today. You'll see a quick increase of clouds. Noon to about 4 p.m. looks pretty cloudy. About 5 degrees warmer today than yesterday. Yesterday we had a high of 41. Today we'll be in the mid 40s. But with the breeze, it's going to be quite breezy this afternoon. It's really not going to feel much warmer. Okay, so still chilly today and again cold tonight, unfortunately. Back into the teens and low 20s to start your Saturday. So a cold start tomorrow if you're out early. But look at this. After a couple cold mornings this weekend, we're going to climb into the 40s. Our morning lows next week are way above freezing. Thank goodness. No more frigid nights for the last week of January. Tomorrow, I know 49 doesn't sound warm, but under the sunshine, light winds, tomorrow afternoon, it's going to feel fantastic as long as you have the winter coat on. On Sunday, a little bit warmer. We'll be in the low 50s. You are going to notice mostly cloudy skies on Sunday. That's the leading edge of moisture that will bring us a little bit of rain to start next week. Again, stopping the clock Monday morning as you're headed out the door going back to work. This is not a big deal. This is just some scattered showers. We're just letting you know this is going to impact the morning commute. We could see a little rain linger into the afternoon. That's about it. By Tuesday, we're in the upper 50s. And guess what? Climate Prediction Center has the entire Southeast as unseasonably warm through the end of January. Take that. Take that, 2025. Okay? What does that mean? Well, we're likely to see highs in the mid to upper 50s to the 60s all of next week and into the weekend. So it's really, really good news. So after a cool start on Monday, it'll be 49, a little cloudy. 58 on Tuesday, 63 on Wednesday. Really, really nice. So we don't have to worry about the cold after the next 24 hours. All right, guys? I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'll be on at noon on Atlanta News First. I would love to see you. If not, I will see you bright and early at 6 a.m. on Monday on Atlanta News First.